Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void. Today, going to be Reynor versus Zoun, or Zoun from Katowice 2022. Going to be on 2,000 atmospheres, a ladder edition. Top right, we've got Reynor, and in the bottom left, we have Zoun. I know Tasteless calls them Zoun, but I have it on good authority. It is Zoun. So if you have more information than I do, let me know in the comments and I'll correct my pronunciation. But I'm going to call him Zoun, okay? Okay. So, is this going to be a cannon run? Nah, gateway. Gateway first from Zoun, just blocking off the hatch. And Reynor's prepared for it. He has 300 minerals a couple seconds after coming to the third base location, so he has it timed out. Protoss be blocking hatches. And yeah, did you see the StarCraft 2 balance update? It's in the PTR, the public test realm, as of this casting, which is Wednesday of last week. So maybe it's already live. But Void Rays got nerfed, Queens got nerfed, Shield Batteries got nerfed, Nidus Worms kind of got buffed, and a few other things as well. Gateway expand here. If you want to hear my thoughts on the balance patch, go ahead and check out the Falcon Paladin Hour. It's a weekly podcast with myself and Somicron as we talk about StarCraft 2. We talk about TV shows and movies and books. So this episode of the podcast was largely talking about the balance patch and then also the Batman. Which if you want to hear my extended thoughts about the Batman, the podcast is a good place to do it too. Really did enjoy the Batman. 2 thumbs up from Falcon on that. Not going to spoil anything else. But yeah, check it out. You can check it out if you just search the Falcon Paladin Hour here on YouTube. It's out on Somicron's channel. So I will... If you remind me, I'll put a link to that in the description if you want to hear my thoughts on this kind of stuff. So check it out. Enjoy Falcon Paladin Hour. Anyway, Adept opening here. Overlord says this could be a Stalker. Run! Run for it. Drone comes down. Not time to expand yet. We're only at 220. A few more seconds yet, and maybe this one will be our third Hatcheroonie, and in fact it is about 380 minerals. Bam, done. So yeah, Reynor pretty scary. Zergs these days seem to have a pretty good handle on Protoss. I'm not sure that nerfing Void Rays is going to help Protoss all that much, but the one thing they did to Queens is they made it so they can't transfuse off creep anymore. So what that means is these little queen walks where the queens are up in your face and they're killing you, and the Void Rays can't do anything because there's like 8 queens and everything's dying. That's gone. They have to be on creep. So either they bring overlords and poop creep, right? Or they throw down a hatchery and toss a creep tumor onto it. So you get a creep tumor right here. Those are things that are still viable, but harder to do and more expensive to pull off. So we'll see. We'll see what we get here out of the changes for the balance patch. I like this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Getting 8. No, saves it. Oh, creep tumor down. That's pretty good, too, though. Creep tumor down is pretty good. Finish that. Shade, get on out of there. Muy excelente. There is an Oracle popping out now, getting Chrono Boost. Chrono Boosted. This Oracle's name is Zoun. It is Oprah. Look under your seats. You get a worker kill. You get a worker kill. Everyone gets a worker kill. So this is Oprah the Oracle, here to murderize everything. Void Ray coming in. So Void Rays are made, they were made more expensive and they build more slowly. Not by a lot. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this adjusts the Void Ray opening potential for Protoss players these days. Drone down, snipes. There's a worker kill. Drone down, snipe. Drone down, snipe. Oh, trying to make spores out of these and kind of just failing to do so. The Oracle attack is too quick. Zoun is way on top of this stuff. He's got a third base coming in, defending with a single Adept and a Void Ray. The Oracle gets a quick look around. Are there a million Lings out? No. Cool. Third base can be defended by an Adept all by herself, basically, at this stage. Oracle might come home to help if necessary. Ling's kind of sharking around, but not really going to accomplish much there. Ooh, a second Stargate. Or is Zoun just opening up straight up carriers? He might just be opening straight Sky Toss, which we haven't seen a ton of on the channel as of late. We'll see how Reynor handles it. Again, Zerg players have been pretty good at handling it over the last 6 months or so, I would say. It's hard. Like, it takes a lot from both players to make these compositions work. The defense against Sky Toss and Sky Toss itself is a lot of different units, different spellcasters, all working in tandem perfectly. And like one false step means you just lose the battle and you lose the game. But Zerg players have been coming out on top more often than not with that, so I don't know. Okay, Void Ray. So double Void Ray play, no Fleet Beacon or anything. Robotics facility here, so it could be Void Rays with charge lots. We've seen that work pretty well in the past. Void Ray with the depths is also pretty interesting. But it is going to be definitely a few Void Rays. This is something you're not going to see a lot of with the new patch. Is just constantly spamming out Void Rays off of 2-star gates because they're more expensive and they build less speedily now. So we'll have to keep an eye on how that changes the meta for sure. Void Rays are just incredible units. I mean, not so much that they make Zerg or Protoss overpowered or anything, right? But they're just good. There's just not a reason not to get them, especially against Zerg. There's not much Zerg can do to shut them down in the early stages. Sure, once they get, you know, a bunch of Hydras out or a bunch of Mutas or, you know, go for some Vipers with Parasitic Bomb, then yeah, the Void Rays have a tough time. But as it stands, doing all right. Robotics Bay coming in here too. So this could be, I don't know. Maybe you're just adding, oh, there's your Fleet Beacon. All right, so we're just going Sky Toss. Maybe Sky Toss with a little bit of Colossus in it. Colossus Void Ray could be interesting for sure. Yeah, Queen's stabbing away. Good unit, Queen. Good anti-air. Good power on that. Oracle gets sniped. Yeah, just those 3 drone kills, and that's all that Oprah was able to get there. Rest in peace, Oprah. We'll catch you in the afterlife. 4th Nexus, Naked coming in here from Zoun. I love that. That's fantastic. Reynor's 4th is only about 80% complete over here on the right. So if you can get a 4th base at the same time the Zerg player does, you're going to feel pretty good about yourself. Meanwhile, Reynor's macro's insane as it always is. He's all the way up to 70 workers, or actually 68. Zoun's at 70. I apologize, Zoun. You have insane macro, more insaner than Reynor at this point. Carrier production has begun. Excellent. Disruptors coming in too. Oh, okay. So some disruptors. They do pretty well. Creep spread pushing. And so far, I think everything's fine from both players. Tempest, single Tempest in production, which is a little bit weird from Joe. Not sure what that's all about. We're going to cannon up and shield battery up these bases against potential Ling attacks, Roach attacks, Ravager style attacks. Queen walking, maybe. I mean, this creep spread, see, this is the thing. This kind of creep spread Queen walk is still totally viable. 100% is. Got to keep spreading that creep. There we go. Creep moving up. Queens can transfuse. Queens coming off creep. Now this is where it changes. Purification Nova. No! Big hit. They don't one-shot Queens, but they bring them pretty low. Transfuses. Look. Transfuses off creep are happening here. That's not going to happen to your Protoss players after this patch goes live. So here comes the Queen walk. Roaches. Ravagers. Queens right up on this stuff. Shield battery overcharge going down. That's not going anywhere with the patch. That's for sure. But not enough to heal up against the burst damage of the corrosive biles. Oof, big time Nova hit there. If you can take down the Ravagers, you can do pretty well against the Queens in general. But 5 probes go down. The cannons are doing what they're doing and saving the lives of these probes by dying instead. They're sacrificing themselves for these workers. But still, 7 probes have gone down. Lings are getting in the mix, causing some problems. Shield battery gets depowered. 9 probes have 13 probes have died now. Queens trying to take down that Tempest, but having a hard time with it. This creep spread needs to go, yeah. It's a little bit late on this second round of creep spread. I don't know what that's all about. Now there's Zealots in here, which the Queens don't do very well against at all. The Nexus goes down. Did they just die? I guess to a couple of Roaches for sure. Oh, Disruptor gets sniped. There's another one behind it as well here. 14 probes die. The 3rd Nexus goes down, but it's 72 to 42 army supply all of a sudden because a ton of Queens died there. 13 Queens, 14 Roaches, 11 Ravagers, and Zoun says it's time to counterattack. Let's go. Let's kill as many creep tumors as we can find here. I guess we're going to leave these ones alone. But everything else we find up this way is going to be just great. Lings in production, Ravagers in production, trying to make Queens, so that can not something you can exactly make 18 of at once like you can a Roach or a Ravager or like a Mutalisk or a Ling, you know? These Queens, they build one at a time. So the anti-air here is going to be a little bit problematic. Some Infestors coming in to try to deal with it. But the only anti-air that exists, I guess, is 9 Queens. That's a pretty good number of Queens. But you can burn them down is the thing here. Some Lings come rolling into Zoun's 4th base. They force an evacuation of probes from that location. Really awesome stuff. Trying to use an angle where the Queens have a hard time seeing what's going on here. Ah, how does that change where the camera's looking every time? Prismatic Core Online, indeed. So yeah, these, wow, forcing a recall to deal with these Zerglings. So frustrating these Lings are. But the third base is back for Zoun. It's warping in quite nice. There's a Spire now on the way from Reynor, but it's going to be a while before it shows up. Creep Tumors died, and that little creep highway that Reynor put so much work into to get up here and kill that third base is now gone. All right. Hive popping from Reynor. Might see some Brood Lords. Sure. We could see some super cool Lurker play. Definitely making some Vipers, which we could have done with the Infestation Pit when that was down, but hey. It's all good. They don't really benefit from the presence of a Hive at all. And by don't really, I mean they don't benefit whatsoever. All their upgrades are totally available all the time once the Infestation Pit is up. So, we're working on Charge. And +2 air weapons, and +1 ground weapons, and a Templar Archives. So Zoun just doing all the Protoss things, right? All the Protoss things that happen. 12 o'clock base, it gets canceled or killed there. Straight up canceled or killed by the Void Rays that are still super mega fast. Ultralisk Cavern coming in. All right. Evolution Chamber, Adrenal Glands just getting started here too. From the young Zerg player who is not as young as he used to be, but still 18 years old and still basically a baby compared to a lot of these other players. Zoun, I want to say, is like 26 or something, so definitely a massive age difference here. So Reynor retaking that 12 o'clock base, which was a 5th base for him. Zoun's been on 4 bases for some time, but he got harassed at the 4th. His 3rd base died. So the timing for him to get a 5th base is a little bit dicey. This Ling's going to make sure it's not just a naked expand. You got to escort this probe even just a tiny little bit if you're going to throw a Nexus down here at the 6 o'clock position, Zoun. All right, War Prism moves out, which the Ling sees, but also the War Prism sees the Ling. So Ling is dead. Naked expanding is entirely possible now. Holding Zelnunga Watchtower is a single Zergling. Hiding in the bushes, providing some extra vision all around this area. You know what Zelnunga Watchtowers do. It's good to hold them, and then Zealots are going to hold this one to the south. Ling's getting out of there because he can't do anything about that. So Zoun sharking around with his Sky Toss army. Got a couple Archons on the ground. Some High Templar in the mix too. Storm has not been researched. So this is going to be feedback. Feedback High Templar trying to catch them Vipers before they can cast Parasitic Bomb or Abducts or things like that. Nice Fungal. And then Parasitic Bomb. The Parasitic Bomb Fungal combo is so strong. Ow, ow! Gosh dang, actually losing a Void Ray there. Oh my gosh, the Parasitic Bombs! Another one would be so problematic. Roaches try to attack into the natural, their 2nd base rather. It's the 3rd base, we'll call it the 3rd. Wow, Guardian Shield gets popped. The Void Rays are dying in this Parasitic Bomb stuff. Dude, Fungal Parasitic Bomb has been way too effective for Reynor here. Zoun is not splitting effectively, he's not taking this seriously, and he ends up losing 5 Void Rays entirely to Prismatic. Well, not to Parasitic Bomb, combined with the Fungal. The green spells working really well here. Bunch of Zealots warping in bottom right. They're going to make a run for the 4th base up here for Reynor. There are some Roaches and Ravagers in the general area, but they're heading off to do their own thing somewhere else. I don't know what they're trying to do entirely, but creep spread clearing here for Zoun as per usual. Standing on creep, and we want to go in there. I mean, the army is entirely out of position. There are some Brood Lords out. High Templar on the ground, so feedbacking a Queen. Okay, so I mean, no transfuses available on one of the Queens. Whatever. Nice Nova hit, catching an Infestor, but the Abducts are very good here as well. Abducting a Carrier into Spore. Queen plays well, defended Carrier down, but the Sky Toss army still present. Brood Lords in the sky, raining down Broodlings on the ground portion of this army, being extremely annoying to deal with. We're going to make another Tempest to try to deal with those. We already have 5 Tempests out. You should be able to handle Broodlords moderately effectively, but backing on out again is Zoun. He does 5th base. 5th base happy. Another Oracle coming in. A Baneling Nest for the first time at 14 minutes from Reynor, which doesn't... It's not usually how that works, but hey, getting a Baneling Nest now, maybe try to catch some of those High Templar napping. Try to kill them real good, or roll into a mineral line, kill some probes. Banelings are good. This Zealot group just gets completely caught out by Adrenal Lings with Ravager support. My gosh, they do not get a lot of value there. I guess they kill a single, I mean, some Lings, and a Roach. Hey, 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 not the best trade ever. Went behind Dark Shrine Zone, tossing it out. DT has got a little nerf too, actually, to where there's a half-second delay from when they blink to when they can attack. which I think was more of a PvT thing, blinking on top of planetaries and killing them, which, strong. Definitely strong. I don't know if it needed a nerf. I never saw anyone complain about that. But whatever. Mothership coming in here from Zoun 2, going for anabolic synthesis for the Ultralisks to move more quickly. I mean, honestly, any speed upgrade in the game is going to be a good upgrade, right? Actually, does that... do we have Flux Veins? No. Interesting. Tectonic Destabilizers coming in, +3 air weapons, no Flux Veins. Zoun feels like the Void Rays are fast enough without the Flux Veins upgrade, which, hey, can I complain about that? I don't know. Maybe not. And Corruptor's taking down a single Tempest, losing a couple friends in the meantime. How have the trades been today? 12,000 for Reynor, 10,000 loss for Zoun. Income's largely been favoring Reynor, at least in a couple moments, but maybe too close for comfort here. For Zerg fans, for Reynor. So consume, sucking some energy off that hatchery as it does. Raynor's taking another base here at about the 11 o'clock position. DT Blink getting research. We just talked about that. Tectonic Stabilizers increasing the damage Tempest due to ground targets. And by ground targets, I mean buildings, not actually ground unit, just the buildings. That's all it is. Ground buildings. Actually, that works against floating Terran buildings too, so it's not even ground buildings, it's just buildings. Trying to keep that creep spread back as much as Protostly possible, for sure. Corrosive Biles landing. All right, all right, all right. And a bit of a hush falls over the battlefield here. Zoun's got his ground army up north and his Skytoss army down south. And the Ultra Ravager army is going to try to deal with this Archon Immortal thing. I don't know about this. Like, your Ultras are gonna die. They're absolutely going to die. Bam, they both go down. The Ravagers are more of a problem, honestly. Shooting long-distance shots at them, Tempest. Or the Broodlords. That's exactly what Tempest were designed to do. And then Ravager's like, ah, crap. There's charge lots in there. Ow. Oh, Corrosive Bile actually connecting on that Archon. Big time hit there. Wow. And then some Lings come in to try to turn the tide there. It's just nice little back and forth going on over here. Adrenal Lings do not mess around. It's a good upgrade to have. And there's Flux Veins. Sounds like, thanks, Falcon. I forgot about Flux Veins. I'll start them when you complain about them, good sir. You're welcome. Zoun, no problem. Zoun taking another base down to the south here. I mean, this is just... Fungal on the feedback. High Templar. They've got Storm. I don't know if I've seen one tossed down yet today. Not bad to throw a Storm down on a clump of queens and force them to all transfuse each other and thereby drain the energy, right? Tempest firing, doing really good stuff here. That orange explosion. The beautiful, really beautiful animation there. Banelings are here, ladies and gentlemen. They're taking down cannons and shield batteries, but an Immortal with shield battery support is enough to chase away that little Ultralisk all by himself with some Ravager friends. It's a great back and forth going on here. Zoun is playing this well against one of the better Zerg players on planet Earth right now. And someone who's really good at ZVP, but this is something Protoss players enjoy. They like the later game against Zerg. Zerg does not like it as much. Nice abduct there, disruptor down. I think Zerg players in general are not as big on the late game. It's a little tougher on them, I think. Again, not that they're losing enough Skytoss games to where it matters for premier tournaments and stuff. Maybe they just figured it out. It's all about queens, broodlords, corruptors, some vipers. Like I said, the spellcaster plays here. Lings roll in early, but the Archons make quick meat of them. And yeah, the Banelings are not accomplishing a lot here. Ultralisk down. Archon down, but Ravager's dying here as well. Immortal. DT's coming to try to help. Ravager makes it out with his fast little spindly legs there. Yeah, 2,000 atmospheres. A good map for macro games. Another Oracle dies. Is that the third one to die today? Second one to die today. The first one was Oprah. That was Gale, perhaps, was the second Oracle. I don't know, man. Creep spread continuing to be reduced. Changelings down this way. I mean, both players have a big bank. Both players are maxed out. I mean, this map is not anywhere near close to being mined out at this point. So I just don't see how this game's over really anytime soon. I don't know where these probes are dying. I mean, there's more probes that are going to die here because these lings are on a mission. They've got +3/+3 and Adrenal. They're full-on cracklings, that's for sure. Time Warp comes in, more abducting going on, killing some more stuff. 18 probes have died. I guess it's this. We saw this coming, though. We saw that one. That was just adding to the total fungal growth. Getting used more often on the channel than it has for a while, I feel like. Zerg players are rediscovering the fungal storm up. Queen snipe. There's enough Tempests to do a ton of damage to a queen. I don't know if they can one-shot them. Oh, this base is just going to die. All right, so base for a base. Once again, if all you have are a couple cannons and a shield battery, it's going to be really hard to defend. Ah, the pylon dies. I think those are probably DTs warping in. Dude, these little Ling run-bys are doing way too much damage. DTs try to attack in, but there's a ton of spores and spines. Bottom right base for Zoun is coming up. Hatchery dies at that 11 o'clock position for Reynor. The 6 o'clock Nexus dies. And the replacement 5 o'clock Nexus for Zoun is going to die here too. Reynor's getting way too much value out of these little Ling Ultra run-bys. This one's going to go down as well. No. You don't have enough Archons or anything to hold this base. The Zealots are not going to be good against these full cracklings, that's for sure. Zealots really do enjoy a pretty big advantage against Lings to start the game and into the mid-game too, but once the Lings have their full upgrades, and especially when they have Adrenal, they just eat Zealots. They trade very well against them. More Infestors coming in. Jones, I mean, his bank is not as good as Reynor's, but Reynor's is only 2,000 minerals. It's not like he's swimming in dough. 5 carriers at a time in production. He recognizes the corruptor count isn't super high. It is super high, though. Maybe he thinks the corruptor count isn't super high because there's 27 of those. And they have +2/+2 upgrades working on the +3/+3. As we can see in that production tab. More Ling Ultra stuff, just getting all of the value they could ever want to get. Cannons falling like butter before them. Their little claws are rending cannons in two. And just taking advantage of how slow and ponderous and immobile Zoun's army is here. It's like, I'm going to force you to engage me on creep, which you don't want to do. I don't know. Maybe Zoun's okay with losing probe, although he's triple pumping them now. So he wants to have more than he has now anyway. Once again, Ling, Ultra, Baneling. Baneling's getting in your mineral line, and the other probes don't even try to get out of there. So, I mean, that's not ideal. But again, the Immortal Archon combo is pretty good. Abject Chaos here, though. Corruptor's getting in. Time Warp is up, abducting the mothership and sniping her right down. Carriers, Void Rays continuing to push, though. Yeah, a carrier dies with the abduct plays. Another 2 die with the abduct plays, but we got more where those came from, baby. How many Void Rays are left? I don't know, but the Corruptors are getting on out of there, apparently. This left side base for Zoun is dead. There's another attack up north with DTs. This game might get an epic tag all of a sudden. Holy crap, you can't save your... You tried to save your hatch. No, more hatches dying. Reynor's knocked down to basically 0 income here, ladies and gentlemen. 0, not good income for him, and it's plummeting into Zoun's favor. He's got stuff mining in several places right now, and Reynor's just got knocked down to nothing. He doesn't have any. He's got long distance mining happening at the 11 o'clock position. That's not good. How many Void Rays are there to handle this Corruptor Ball, which is still 18 workers and pretty scary? There they are. They're going to try to come in without the assistance. Without the assistance of the Abducts, they're going to lose a couple Corruptors there, and yeah, they killed a carrier, but was it worth? Dude, has Zoun just done this? I mean, I don't want to call it too soon, but here come the Lings and the Ultralisks and the Corruptors all together now. Stasis catching some of those Banelings. Storm on top of the Corruptors. Very, very nice. Void Rays going down to the Corruptors. Are there enough? No, there's not enough Corruptors here to win against these carriers. Army value is 63 to 63. But there's Ultras coming out that are not good against carriers at all. Reynor, he's going for the base race. He can't do anything else right now. His stuff that can shoot up currently consists of nothing. He has no units, and Zoun is your winner in 24 minutes and 20 seconds. An absolutely fantastic win for the Korean Protoss player, taking down the number 2 ranked player in Aligulac at this point. Absolutely sick plays from him overall. Well done by Zoun, showing those bully Zerg players who's boss. Yeah, that's it. Reynor looked at his stash, looked at his units, and said, 9 ultras and 5 zerglings, huh? That's not enough to take down carriers. 5 carriers to speak of. 15 kills, 8 kills, 18 kills, 15 kills, 14 kills, 20 kills on the Tempest, 18 kills on that one, 22 and 24. It was close. It was really close. That final battle could have turned the tide onto Reynor's favor, but the income was dying. The DT's killing this base. This, again, the 5 o'clock going down. Over here, the 9 o'clock getting killed, or the 3 o'clock as well. And then it just marched up, sniped down a couple more bases, and that was it. Reynor had no income to speak of whatsoever. And sure, he's got Ultralisks and Lings murderizing enough of his probes to hold a whole nother game here. 81 probes died today. 81. 54 drones that die, 6 hatcheries, 4 nexuses. A mothership, 9 carriers. I mean, this is a bloodbath on both sides. Really, really fantastic display. 51,000 resources lost for Reynor, 43,000 lost for Zoun. How many Ling? Only 247 Zerglings today. They had full up. They really got a lot of value, I think, for how many Lings they were. Good feedbacks from Zoun, too. Man, I thought Reynor, when he started getting some good trades up here, with the Parasitic Bomb, just absolutely wrecking a few of those Void Arrays with, obviously, with the... My brain wants to call it Plague so bad, but it's not that. The fungal growth. I thought that was the beginning of the end. Reynor was on a ton of bases. He was looking really good. Then he starts sniping Nexuses and killing probes all over the place. And I was like, oh, man. But then Jones is like, I'm going. We're just going to force some stuff here, kill a couple bases, force an engagement. Reynor doesn't want to. The DTs were key to this win. The DTs up here taking down that hatch just before the Lings respond and arrive to stop them. Disgusting. That is, man. Do we want to epic tag that? I think we kind of want to epic tag that, don't we? Let's, let's say, leave me a comment. Let me know if it's an epic game, okay? And if enough people say that it's epic, I'll give it an epic tag. How about that? All right, okay. So that's going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.